Hello and welcome back to Train Sim World 3. Today we're back in the UK, in the northwest of England, as you can possibly tell by the weather. We're at Stalybridge Railway Station, which serves Stalybridge, Greater Manchester, England, and it lies on the Huddersfield Line, 7.5 miles east of Manchester Piccadilly and 8.25 miles east of Manchester Victoria. The station is nowadays managed by Trans-Pennine Express. And the whole station was built by the Sheffield, Ashton-under-Lyne and Manchester Railway and opened on the 23rd of December 1845. Merry Christmas. We've got to take our train to Manchester Victoria, offload the passengers at the terminus, and then we've got to switch ends because we've got to drop this loco over at Newton Heath. So, let's get on with it. We've got to find the blooming thing first. Sorry about the weather. It's a bit of a change from California, I know, but well, you know, this is why everybody in England's got bronchitis, I guess. So, as you saw, this is the down and out scenario. We're in a Class 101. Complete a passenger run into Manchester Victoria before taking the train out of service and heading to Newton Heath. Looks like our train there. Looks like there's another intercity service coming in now. So here we are, we've made our way up to the other platform, not very safely, had to cross the tracks, jump on the platform, which wasn't very safe, so I don't know why there's not a bridge, or I don't know how the passengers are supposed to get here, because I didn't see a bridge or anything. You know, these are scenarios, so obviously I'm getting sort of like points for doing these scenarios. I think I'm just going to basically, on Train Sim World, make my way through the scenarios. So we're sat down, we're going to get this main switch on, the reverser on forward, and get all the controls ready. So bear with me while I do that. I think we're about ready. I've got the lights on. Let's let the passengers on. Got the gear selector in neutral. Yeah, so this 101 is a bit trickier than some of the other, well, multiple units, I guess, and it's got gears. So basically you select the gears like you would do driving a car or whatever. You basically knock off the throttle and then select another gear. Up, and then you reapply the throttle. So here's the timetable. We're supposed to leave at 7:33, which was like a minute ago, so we're already a bit late. We've used the tail lights, so we've put those on, which is good in this atrocious weather. Shall we get a wiper on, maybe? Just checking the lights aren't on. Left marker light off. What's going on with these lights? I'm not sure if I'm doing this lighting right. I think sometimes you only light on like one side of the cab, I think. One side of the train. So, engage first gear, release all the brakes and increase the power. Hang on. Right, gear selector in neutral, gear 4. So some reason neutral is at far end, so gear 1, throttle idling onto 1. Is it moving? Yes, we've got some amps. We've got to stop at Ashton-under-Lyne at 7:36, which is basically less than 30 seconds time, so we're going to be late. I think we need some wipers on. Left wiper stop. Left wiper run. Hooray! Great. So we're in a little bit of a limit here, but in 300 yards or so it goes up to 75 mph, so possibly a little bit of an opportunity to catch up with some time there. Looks like the old signal box is there. Yep. So, a little bit of a look outside as we make our way out of Stalybridge. Welcome to the suburbs of Manchester. Right, here we are, we're crossing over this big crossover, big set of points. We're still locked to, oh yeah, there we go. The limit is now increased to 75, which is good. We've got a mile to go. Come on, let's get some power on and get shifting. This is where I see the throttle's gone to idling. I put it to gear 2, put a bit more throttle on. Wait till it goes into the yellow band you see on the engine RPM. If I can get this right. It is a little tricky. Let's hope the weather improves, eh? But this is typical Manchester weather. Let's be honest, people from Manchester. You Mancs, this is typical Manc weather. Well, we're not exactly zooming along, are we? Right. We've got the throttle on idling. We've got 0.7 of a mile to go. Throttle is on full. Come on. So we're already 2.5 minutes late. Sorry to everybody waiting at the station at Ashton-under-Lyne there. Bit of a tunnel there. So with 400 yards to go, applying a bit of brake. I think we just need it on lap, yeah. Do it on lap. Stop too soon. And beyond the station there's a danger at 500 yards or so. Some more thunder. Here we are. I think this is a bit of a cheat, this marking out where your train has to stop. I suppose it does help noobs like me who are not super expert. Right, let's get the doors opened on the right side. We were supposed to leave here at 7:36. We've got to stop at Park at 7:42, which is, well, 2 minutes away. Fortunately, we can't pull away until the load passengers thing is filled up, and we've given the passengers enough time to get on board and find their seats. Quick look back there. So yeah, watch out for my next video, which will be coming not long after this one, where we're down in the south of England. Won't tell you too much more about that, but it's a nice trip out. The weather will be better. Well, could it be much worse? I suppose it could be snowing, but it isn't snowing. So anyway, a little bit later on, here we are, leaving Ashton on our way to Park, which is 3.7 miles away. At least we've got some speed up now. We're going up towards 50 mile an hour-ish here. That window is closed. Good. So this Trans-Pennine route for Train Sim World was released on PC on the 30th of December 2018, so it's like getting on for, well, 4.5 years old. It contains BR Class 45, Class 47 and this BR Class 101. It's the third UK route for Train Sim World, must be the original one. covering the 43-mile line from Manchester Victoria to Leeds via Huddersfield, set during 1983. Oh, there you go. All in their old British Rail blue livery. Towering moors, challenging grades and tight curves are yours to conquer in Train Sim World 2, Northern Trans-Pennine, bringing a bygone era of British Rail roaring back to life. Operate your trains over an ageing rail network with out-of-date infrastructure. Somebody's been reading my favourite books. It's your job to carry passengers over the famous Trans-Pennine Railway. Manage your powerful locomotives and enjoy the charm of running local haul services that no longer exist today over the twisting railway, carving its way through England's Pennine Hills, the backbone of England. Whether you're driving, riding along or watching the action, experience all the sights and sounds of a chapter of British Railways long forgotten in time. Just checking the timetable again. We've got still more than half a mile to go to park. Take control of 3 icons of British motive power: the BR Class 45 Express Passenger Locomotive, the BR Class 47 Mixed Traffic Locomotive, and the BR Class 101 Diesel Multiple Unit, like what we have got here, featuring authentic diesel electric and diesel mechanical simulations underpinned with expert technical knowledge and real-world data. The performance, sounds and the feel has been accurately reproduced to make them feel just like the real thing, it says according to the Dovetail blurb. Key features: 43-mile route of the Northern Trans-Pennine route from Manchester Leeds via Huddersfield, already said that. Here we are at park, so we'll just park this info just for now. So we're going to park in the We're going to park at park in the coloured rectangles. See if I can get it better this time. We're on lap, we're on release, a bit further. We're awfully late. Practically a full 5 minutes. Get that brake on. I don't understand why although it's been raining for a while, the platforms aren't shiny wet, which I guess they should be. Anyway, let's get these passengers off and get the new passengers on. Stick that into gear 1 in preparation for us pulling away. Here we are. That looks like a big works of something. It looks like an old mill, doesn't it? Old cotton mill, but who knows? Did they have them still in the 80s? They may well have done, you know. Right, doors are locked. We've got 0.8 of a mile to go to Miles Platting at 7:45. We're 3 minutes late already, give or take. Just getting this brake released. Come on, should have done all this before, while the passengers were getting on and off. So let's give it some amps. What exists today as the line between Manchester and Leeds dates back to 1849, when the Manchester, Stockport and Leeds Railway opened between Huddersfield and Stalybridge. This will be the stretch we're on now. This stretch was soon extended and eventually incorporated into the larger London and North Western Railway network. The line was built following the success of the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, which since 1816 transported coal and materials between Yorkshire and Lancashire in order to power the revolutionised industries of the era, such as textiles, cotton, wool, blah blah blah. Not cotton wool, you mean cotton and wool. Here's our next station, Miles Platting. Sounds like a character from a Dickens novel. The canal was running at capacity, competition on the waters was near impossible, and the quantity of moved goods was not sufficient. Got a red in 23 yards. Good job we didn't go through that. Let's get the passengers off. In fact, there doesn't seem to be any. Yeah, you see the platforms and that should be like shiny black and wet, shouldn't they? I mean, the roofs are a bit. I mean, they've done a bit on the roof of the train. But, I mean, that looks wet there, but on the platforms should be looking wet as well. While some railways took the easier lower paths through the Pennines, the line via Huddersfield would tackle the hillside directly. Consequently, following smaller canals such as the Huddersfield Narrow Canal through the summit of the route at Standedge Tunnel. This railway tunnel itself ran parallel to the Canal Tunnel, the deepest, longest and highest of its kind in Britain at the time, and was engineered by Thomas Nicholson, 1784 to 1861, who also worked on the famed Woodhead tunnels. Oh yeah, they are famous. The railway opened to traffic in July 1849 and saw over 1,000 passengers on its first day of operation. This number would only increase, and today the line is one of the busiest in West Yorkshire. An interesting feature of the route in the 1980s is that it was not fitted with the AWS, automatic warning system, or other modern safety systems until much later, and following the electrification of the East Coast Main Line in the days just before privatisation in 1992, the route featured in TrainSim World also replicates this and will provide an interesting perspective of what it was like to drive trains without any of the modern protections every driver or rail fan takes for granted today. Do you have what it takes to remain totally focused on the road ahead? Well, I don't know. So next stop is Manchester Victoria. Another look outside. Weather is still bloody awful. So the three locos, the BR Class 45 known as Peaks, these locomotives operated Trans-Pennine passenger services. The BR Class 47, these locos operated both passenger and freight trains across the entire British Rail network. And lastly, the BR Class 101, which we're in today and driving, these operated local passenger services across the entire British Rail network. Here we are at Manchester Victoria. I'm assuming passengers are only departing here as we're not going on to a proper real timetable place. We're just going to drop the coach off in the parking area at Newton Heath, I believe. Why? Why is it moving? That would have been a disqualification and game over in Train Simulator Classic. But they've allowed me to let the thing roll forward and unlock the doors again. There they go, the doors have opened. Let's park that wiper there. And I'm sure there'll be an instruction later on once all the passengers are off to close this end down and fire up the other end. So they're all supposed to be wearing 1980s clothing. I'm not sure tight jeans were of the modern era. Anyway, there's the instructions. Set the main switch on, reverse it forward. We've done all that. Right, unload passenger, shut down any active controls and set the master key to off. Move to the rear cab, set the main switch on, etc, etc, etc. So, gear selector into neutral, which I remember was at the far, hang on. Reverser off. Driver's brake, do we want that? We don't want that applied. Come on, turn that back to neutral, that's it. And driver's brake. Release, that's correct, and then, hang on. Get that off, good. I'm still not happy, what haven't I not done right? Turn this key off. Good. This needs something doing to it. Surely I don't have it on. Right. Change ends. Right, that's easily done. I just think you can get up. There is a quicker way to do this, but we'll do a bit of a fade cut here. Better lock that door in case any joyriders fancy having a go themselves. So here we are. As soon as you like, we're at the other end. And we're going to do the same thing in reverse, I guess. Move, set the main switch to on and reverse it to forward. Right, get the electrics on. Get this to forward. Forward. Engage first key race. Oh, we're not going to do a bit more than that. We've got to put the lights on and stuff. Gear 1. Driver's brake is reversed. Right, it says 2.5 miles away. Oh, hang on, let's get the wipers on. Come on. Wipers on. Left wiper run, thank you. So here we are, pulling out of Manchester, Victoria. Going to Newton Heath, 2.5-ish miles away. I didn't change the lights, did I? I hope I haven't got like red. I hope I haven't got red lights showing on the front, or what is now the front. Still doing that tricky gear change, throttle on off business. Got a bit of an incline here. So there we are, coming out of Manchester, Victoria. I wouldn't say it looks beautiful in this weather. I wouldn't say it looks beautiful in any weather, but so something's just up ahead, obviously waiting for us to go by. It's a big, is it another, what do you call that? That must be the BR-47 or something. Sometime later, 1.2 miles to go to Newton Heath. We're speeding. Could like a derailment here at this speed, going round these points. Trying to get a bit of braking on. Got the speed down to 13, which is good. Massive smoky works chimneys here. I used to see across the north, or still do in some places. Some more thunder and lightning there. So you can see the old semaphore signals in operation here. We're slightly speeding. That's better. I presume Newton Heath is some kind of marshalling yard, shed place or something. We're taking the right hand side here. Yeah, you can see lots of loco stops there and sidings and what have you. Oh, we're speeding again, coming around those points. Avoided a derailment. It was only 1 mile over, so, or 1 mile, 1 mph over. So what's this? Is another loco here. That looks like a 101, I think, like we're pulling. Yeah, another one there. So there's obviously lots of, oh, here we are. So there's lots of trains parked up here, whether for cleaning, servicing, refurbs, I don't know. Braking there, nice and gentle. Good. Lovely. Nice. So that's us stopped here at Newton Heath. What now? I guess we have to turn everything off, eh? Oh, here we are. Shut down and any active control. Set the handbrake to applied. The master key 2 off. And then that'll be it, and then the scenario will be over. So, reverse it to neutral. Off, or off even, in fact. Yeah, better pull this handbrake on this loco. Don't turn the key off yet. Yeah. Turn the key off. Right. Oh, so something, so we can go over there. Now, I must confess, what happened now is none of the doors would open for me, so I've come to this rear end here, turned lights off, and I've had to trying to stop the engine. I think I've done that, and then it's only then would the door open when it came to the what was the back end now, and allows me. See, this is dangerous. There's no bridge or no nothing to get over the tracks. Keep death off the railways. Isn't that what they say? We still have staff getting killed on the railways every year, you know. Not as many as we used to have, but that's about me for now. So thanks for this. Come with me from the journey from Stalybridge to, well, Victoria and then Newton Heath. Give us a like and subscribe. Keep the channel going and help build it. I got 740 points there for down and out. So thanks very much. Crunchy signing off for now. Bye.